Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. Today everyone, we are looking at IELTS speaking part 3, and we are going to be practicing answers that get a band 9 score. Welcome, Kanu. Hi, Atharwa. Hi, Habibullayev. Good to have many students already in the class. That's fantastic. Everyone, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Check us out there. I will show you this website real quick so you can see what we're talking about. This is our academic IELTS website here. All you have to do to get access to our premium IELTS package is click this big red button there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We are an official British Council IELTS test registration center. Certified agents, we help hundreds, thousands of students each and every day. We have tons of testimonials coming in that many students have been successful in their goals. And when you have access, you will have access to your My Student account. And in your My Student account, you have student partner speaking, and you can book a speaking interview practice with me clicking this yellow button. For general IELTS students, it's the same idea. Green background, click this big red button here to join the premium package. Again, it's a one-time payment for lifetime access, so it's really, really well worth it. Hi, Prabjot. Welcome back. Janil, good to see you. Fardius. All right. So, going back to the syllabus for today, you will see that we also have apps. Our apps are available on Google Play and Apple Apps. Search for Academic IELTS Help or General IELTS Help to find our apps. Those apps will link to your web accounts. You can also follow us on Instagram, IELTS Help and GIELTS Help. And if you have questions, students, about your next exam, about our products, about English, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. Hello, Narangadiz. Hello back to Uzbekistan. Good to see many students. All right, everyone. So we've got our speaking part 3 class right now. This is a speaking class, so make sure to speak and repeat. We will not have live class on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's usual. And then we will have classes all next week from the 17th to the 20th, multiple classes from the 18th to the 20th. I will put the live class schedule on our YouTube channel comments and board, and you will also see it on Instagram, so that's why it's good to follow us there. And now we get into speaking part 3. Okay, so again, students, this is a speaking class, so make sure to speak and repeat. Okay, so copy my sentences, copy my intonation. Intonation means like how my voice goes up and down. And copy, again, my energy level. Okay, so you can hear that I'm quite energetic. And that's what you want to be during the IELTS exam. So you want to be really energetic, okay? Make sure you have lots of energy for your IELTS, okay? Show confidence. All right? English speakers culturally are quite outspoken oftentimes. Like we're, you know, maybe not as verbal as Italians or maybe not as verbal as some people speaking Arabic languages, but English speakers do have quite a good melody and energy to their communication as well. So make sure to copy that, okay? All right, good evening. Riza, welcome. Bakrat. Divya, congratulations on your score. Send me a testimonial so that we can put that up on our website with all of the other success stories. Okay, so part 3 is a continuation of part 2, okay? So part 3 speaking continues from part 2. Now we just did part 2. Everybody remembers what part 2 was about? We just did a part 2 class. We finished half an hour ago, and that part 2 class had a specific topic. What was that topic? What did we talk about? Your examiner is going to ask you a question about that part 2. Okay, so what was that cue card about that we just, that's right, Buckrat. And light bulb, in fact, Buckrat is one word, right? So part 2 was we talk about an invention. And our answer was the light bulb. Okay, we talked about a light bulb. So we talked about the invention of the light bulb and so on. So here the examiner will say, okay, that is the end of part 2. Now we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I'm going to ask you a question related to your response and some questions connected to this topic. So what do you think a question might be that the examiner might ask you in connection to your part 2 response? So they will ask you a question to make sure that you're not just memorizing English and that you're able to produce original language. So they will ask you a question to follow up on your part 2 response. Okay? All right? Yeah, Harpreet, you want to master some more of the techniques and strategies, and then you want to reappear for your IELTS exam. Try to leave at least 2 to 3 months before your next IELTS exam so you can really improve your score from 5.5 to 7.5. Okay. Janil, good. So Janil says maybe the examiner might ask you something like, have you ever broken a light bulb when replacing it? Okay. Yeah, it's possible they might ask you something like that. Siam, why is the light bulb so important? They probably won't ask you that because you answered that in your part 2. So remember we said in part 2 that it's important for productivity, for people to be able to do work or to have fun when the sun is down. So we answered that question, okay? All right. Okay, maybe they'll ask you something like this. Here, let me ask you a question. So, have there been any improvements to the light bulb since Edison's time? Okay, so they might ask you a question like this. Have there been any improvements to the light bulb since Edison's time? Now, this is speaking part 3. So students, make sure that you copy my intonation, my pronunciation, okay? Eugen, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for those cute emojis. Get into the lesson, okay? All right? Habibulayev, yeah, you can use informal English as long as you're using it correctly, okay? As long as you're being fluent, okay? All right, Harpreet, buildings affecting climate is completely off topic here, okay? So the question is, have there been any improvements to the light bulb since Edison's time? Canon, yes it was, is not present perfect. All right, I would say yes, there have been many improvements to the traditional light bulb, which Edison invented back in the 1800s. These days, people have invented energy efficient light bulbs such as LEDs. Also, there are many colors and sizes and shapes In fact, I have a large floodlight to illuminate my front yard. This did not exist during Edison's time. All right, so here is my answer to this question. And my first tip, students, when you are doing the IELTS speaking is that you have to reflect the question. So notice that this question is in the present perfect form, okay? So this is present perfect. So because this question is present perfect, you must answer in present perfect. Okay? And the best way to do this is use the question and include it in your answer right away. Yes, there have been many improvements. So notice that right away I am reflecting the present perfect grammar, the question that's being asked by the examiner. Yeah, that's right, Mamta. We should use the exact same tense in our response. Okay, Fatma, welcome. All right. Okay. So here we go, everyone. Practice with me. First, let's do the question, and then we'll respond. So, have there been any improvements to the light bulb since Edison's time? Yes, there have been many improvements to the traditional light bulb, which Edison invented back in the late 1800s. These days, people have invented energy-efficient light bulbs such as LEDs or LEDs. Also, there are many colors and sizes and shapes that people can buy nowadays. In fact, I have a large floodlight to illuminate my front yard. This did not exist during Edison's time. Okay, a floodlight is kind of that big round shaped light. They're the large lights that people use in construction as well to give lots of brightness, so they give off a lot of light. They're used outdoors most of the time, or a lot of the time. They're called floodlights. Okay. All right, so notice that here I answer the question. Okay, so this is where I have my answer. All right. And then here I have an explanation. Okay. And then near the end, I have a smooth example. Okay. So there is my example. And good answers that get high band scores in speaking part 3 will have these 3 elements. In fact, I just read an email from one of our students today who got a band 8 in their speaking, and they said, I used this answer explanation example and it really worked well. I was fluent, and hey, they got a band 8. So that's fantastic. That's what you want to do. And I just got that email literally like an hour before I started this class. So that's awesome. Okay. All right. Kevin Bowie says, since its advent, the light bulb has certainly improved in its light, color, and projection area. If I'm not mistaken, the original bulb could only light up within a few meters with yellow beams, whereas the current modes, like the fluorescent tubes, send white light as far as 10 meters. Okay, very nice. All right. Okay, Kevin, that is a fantastic answer. Okay, very good, Kevin. Happy to have you on board. All right, so now the examiner will continue on the topic of part 2, and part 2 is about inventions. So by this time you should be thinking about words like innovation, discovery, scientist, research, experiment, okay, advancement, development. All of these words should be kind of like spinning around in your head, because you're going to be using words that are connected to the topic of an invention when you're answering these questions. Okay? All right, so let's get into it, students. Make sure you have some water with you because you should be speaking, not just listening to me, but speaking lots. Okay? All right, let's do this together. Okay, so the examiner will say, okay, let's discuss modern technology. In your opinion, is technology making people's lives easier? Why or why not? Okay, so in your opinion, is technology making people's lives easier? Why or why not? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Now, I definitely recommend staying away from "it depends," so avoid it. Sometimes it's not avoidable, or unavoidable, but avoid saying "it depends." Okay. Instead, just choose one side. This is the IELTS. Okay. So instead, choose one side and talk about it. So instead, choose one side. And communicate it clearly. Okay, you'll get a better band score. You'll be more fluent. When people say it depends, this often leads to confusing communication as well. So you want to avoid the "it depends." Okay. All right, Delaney, you can improve to a band 7 by following this lesson. All right. So again, the question here is, in your opinion, is technology making people's lives easier? Why or why not? Okay. All right. All right, Mohina Bonu says, yes, certainly the advent of sophisticated technology has really facilitated a comfortable lifestyle for many individuals. Mohina Bonu, that's a good start. Explain why and give me an example, okay? Siam says, yes, in my opinion, technology is making people's lives easier because nowadays, without technology, nothing happens. Technology gives us the power to boom and gives us access to create history. Siam, that's a little bit confusing. I'm not exactly sure what you're telling me about technology. If I were an alien, I'd be kind of like, what? So you want to be a little bit clearer in your explanation. Nick Haymon says, I think technology has made people's lives much better and easier. Many innovations have saved people's time and energy in doing tasks and work. Aspects of life, like the mobile phone and aiding long-distance communication, and the light bulb that I just said, increasing productivity in offices. Nice, nice connection to part 2. Good connection to the part 2 answer. Okay, I'm looking up, students, because that's where I can see your comments. So I'm looking up at you. All right, Medina says, it is obvious that it has both merits and demerits. However, I 100% think that it leads to much easier lives for individuals who use special types of technology in appropriate ways. What do you mean, Medina? What's the appropriate way to use technology? Again, don't say that it depends, or don't say that it has both merits and demerits. Strange. By the way, English speakers don't actually use merits and demerits in speaking that much. The last time I heard one of my friends say the word merits, probably like a year ago. Demerits, even less common. Demerit, I don't even know if I've ever heard anybody in here around me in Canada use that word. I'm sure I've read it. I know what it means, but I don't really hear that word often, so keep that in mind. All right. Nillard says, yes, modern technology has made life more convenient for everyone. And Nillard says, especially I love your class. I'm not sure, Nillard, if that's connected there, but thank you. Make sure to give an explanation and example, okay? So, yes, I believe that technological advancements have made people's lives much more comfortable and convenient by saving both time and energy. The light bulb allows people to be more productive, as I had mentioned, and the washing machine saves tons of time and energy by automating the cleaning of clothes. It probably saves me at least 3 to 4 hours of work each week. Okay? All right, so there's your Band 9 answer. This would be considered Band 9. All right? And I'll tell you why. All right? So first of all, I answer the question. Again, here's my answer. Yes, I believe that technology or that technological advancements have made people's lives much more comfortable and convenient. So here we have the word easier. Okay, and here I'm using the word comfortable and convenient to paraphrase the word easier. By saving both time and energy. So this is my explanation here. Okay. Okay, so this is where an alien would be like, oh, okay, I understand the concept of energy and time. So yeah, I get you. Okay, I understand what you're talking about. So here's the explanation: by saving both time and energy. All right, and then I make a connection. And connection to part 2 is very powerful, students. It creates more coherence, more fluency. So connection to part 2. The light bulb allows people to be more productive, as I had mentioned, and the washing machine saves tons of time and energy by automating the cleaning of clothes. So here I'm giving a couple of examples with my explanation, and here's my specific example. Okay, so my specific example here is it probably saves me at least 3 to 4 hours of work each week. Now, notice this communication here. Okay, this is called quantitative communication. And quantitative communication means that I'm giving numbers, okay? So I have clear numbers here, how much time technology is actually saving me to make my life easier. So this question, it's correct English, it's showing a range of grammar, it's reflecting the question accurately. I'm using correlative conjunctions, both time and energy. And it's making connections. It has all the elements for good communication and a great band score. So this is what you want to do, okay? All right. Buckrat, that's a great answer too, with the motorbike. Fantastic, I love it, okay? All right, so here we have our next question. Keep these points in mind, okay? And again, students, it's speaking, so make sure to speak while you're doing this class. Repeat and copy, okay? All right, so here's the next question. What are some important technological developments for the future? Now here, clearly, they're looking for will and going to, this type of grammar, okay? So as soon as you hear this, what will or what are the in the future, you should be immediately thinking about using these future participles, will and going to, with your verbs, okay? So what are some important technological developments for the future? Give me a nice full sentence for this one. If you need time to think about a good answer, you can say something like this. That's an important question, but I haven't thought too much about it. Please allow me a moment. Because, you know, this isn't something that we would automatically have an answer for, so it's okay to ask for it. Avneet says, okay. Jasmine says mobile. Oh, we already have mobile phones, so that's not really a future invention. Here, you should visualize, like, what are the challenges, right? Technology is often being developed to meet the challenges of the world. So you should be visualizing and thinking about what are the challenges that we're facing in the world today? What are the difficulties that inventions need to address or need to solve? Okay. All right. Mamta's got some ideas. So Mamta says maybe flying cars will be an important development for the future. Why, Mamta? What kind of difficulty or what kind of challenge do flying cars solve? I agree with you. I think there's definitely an issue that flying cars solve. Think about what that is. Okay. An says, I think that technological advancements in space exploration and medical innovations will be needed for humanity's future. The former one is important because humans have to inhabit other planets like Mars since resources on Earth are depleting rapidly. The latter one is because reflecting on the current pandemic, people may need stronger vaccines to cure even more dangerous bacteria, virus, or pathogens. Pathogen means it could be a virus, a bacteria, a parasite, a chemical, so any danger to the human body coming from the outside. That's a microbe that makes us sick. It's called a pathogen. Okay? All right, very nice answer, An. I like it. Siam says there are some great technological developments happening in the future, like inventing artificial intelligence, which will give access to people to great amounts of information. Okay, Siam, you have some good ideas. You need to put it together a little bit better, all right? I'm correcting you in real time, so watch those corrections, okay? All right. Let's see. Kevin Bowie says, the next big leap in technology. So instead of saying the next big thing, Kevin, I know you know this, Kevin, but don't use the word thing. Some examiners and some high-level English speakers, when they hear the word things or stuff, they just go, like this, okay? Because the word thing and stuff has zero value, okay? So, Kevin, and I know you got great vocabulary, so use it. So the next big leap in technology is perhaps the rollout of the Hyperloop, a supersonic bullet train traveling across borders at the speed of aircrafts, but at a fraction of the cost, allowing humans to get more work done within much less time. Another key advancement is the popularization of 3D printers, so architects and engineers can better visualize their end products and create objects which would be otherwise impossible. Okay, very nice, Kevin. Akbar Shaks says, I think there will be some essential tech advancements in coming decades, such as the AI industry will have a broader impact. In fact, embedding the internet into everyday technology is on the increase. I just bought a new stove, and it is connected to my Wi-Fi, so I can preheat the oven while driving home from work. This is true. So, Akbar Shaks, you're on the right path. I can agree with you on that. Again, make sure to repeat after me, okay? Don't use the words thing and stuff, students. Don't use the word thing and stuff. So, that's an interesting question. I believe that there will be great advancements in both AI and flight technology. I presume that soon enough we will witness the advent of AI flown drone transports for humans, as this will solve the issues of traffic and dense population, congestion in metropolitan areas such as New York and Tokyo. The other day, I saw a video on testing such technology on YouTube. Okay, so there's my answer. Okay, now developments is plural, so we need at least a couple. And here I'm combining AI and flight. So development and AI and flight. When you have a plural like developments, you want at least two, okay? So I think unsaid medicine and space exploration. So ideally you want to think about at least two and think about why, right? Always answer that why question. I'm throwing some advanced vocabulary at you and some of my responses as well, because this is speaking part 3 practice. So when you see such new vocabulary, write it down, okay? And add it to your vocabulary list. Okay, everyone. So here we go. Repeat after me. So what are some important technological developments for the future? That's an important question, but one I haven't thought too much about. Please allow me a moment. I believe that there will be great advancements in both AI and flight technology. I presume that soon enough we will witness the advent of AI-flown drone transports for humans, as this will solve the issues of traffic and dense population congestion in metropolitan areas such as New York and Tokyo. The other day I saw a video on testing such technology on YouTube. Okay, so there is your high band answer. You're using vocabulary like presume, advent, okay, drone. I think drone is with an E, if I'm not mistaken, otherwise it's drown. Drone, sorry, drone, like that, yeah. Drone, which is, of course, you've seen the drone planes and cameras that people are flying. Okay, some nice expressions here, like soon enough we will witness. Okay, pay attention to that expression there. Okay, congestion. Congestion is where we're not able to move around because there are too many cars or people all kind of squeezed into one space, okay? Collocation, metropolitan areas, right? Okay, so the examiner will catch the use of such words and phrases, and that will help you to improve your lexical resource score, okay? All right, let's jump into the next question, everyone. So what kinds of modern technology do people rely on in their daily life? Just think about what you have in your pocket, what you have in your house, what you drove to school. So just think about all of those and you'll come up with several. Okay, so again, I'll give you a chance to answer first. Here we go. This is the next question. What kinds of modern technology do people rely on in their daily life? Okay. Mamta says, there are a plethora of technological gadgets which people depend on each and every day. Mamta, so let me grab your response. And let me make some corrections here, okay? All right, so this is Mamta. Mamta answers this. Okay, thank you, Mamta, for letting me use your response as an example here. All right, so right away you can see that spell check and grammar check. They're underlining a couple of points here. They're like, hey, there's some mistakes here. So there are a plethora. Okay, the reason why we say a plethora is because plethora is one unit here. There are plethora of technological gadgets, okay, because it's many gadgets. You're saying plethora of gadgets. So you have to have gadgets, which people depend. There, because people are plural, you do not use the S, okay? So you take out that S. Depend on it. It doesn't make sense here. You need clarity. So depend on in their everyday lives. Okay, plural again. For example, let's start that with a capital F. For example, let's put a space there. Washing machine, microwave. Always the last in the list, you should add an and. We do that even verbally. So, and mobile phone. Arguably, I would make this a little bit more natural. People cannot is one word, everyone. So people cannot think about to live without these technologies. So people cannot survive easily. Better choice of words. People cannot survive easily without these technology. Yeah, and you can do that. You can say without these technology. Now, I would finish this, Mamta, with a smooth example. So I would say, my friend could not find his mobile yesterday, and he freaked out. He thought the world would end. Okay, and I'm sure many of you have seen that, right? So use visualization. Yeah, when people lose their mobile phones or can't find it, they think the world is going to end and it's all over until they find it again, right? So Mamta, that's what I would do to change your answer from a band 6 to a band 8. Okay, maybe we could do a little bit more to make it a band 9. So Mamta says, there are a plethora of technological gadgets which people depend on in their everyday lives. For example, washing machines, microwaves, and mobile phones, which I have talked about earlier. Arguably, people cannot survive easily without these technology. My friend could not find his mobile phone yesterday and he freaked out. He thought the world would end. Okay, so that's kind of your colloquial language that'll work there. And that will work, all right? So that will get you a nice high band score, all right? Okay. Akbar Shak says, aside from the light bulb, the internet is the most important tech which people rely on in their everyday life. Since we cannot do much without the internet now, we use it for information, for communication, for work. Very good. Okay, so Akbar Shak's a little bit more detail. All right, very nice. Okay. Not to worry, everyone. I'll take somebody else's response here in a moment. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So let's do one more here. Okay. So let's talk about scientific discovery. Okay, that's the next part here. And if you're doing a good job in your speaking, the examiner will ask you as many questions as they can within that 12-minute time. So let's talk about scientific discovery. Okay, here is the next question. What are some of the most important discoveries for humanity in the last 2 centuries? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay, so nice full sentence answer for this one. Again, think about answer, explanation, and example. I think that your answer, Akbar Shak, was a good one for this one. So aside from the light bulb, the internet is the most important. Okay, that would work well for this one because this one focuses on important discoveries. Okay. So now think about ways to say important. So paraphrase it with crucial, vital, critical. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to say important. You want to paraphrase parts of the question as much as you can. Nightjar Arif says there are a vast number of gadgets we rely on on a daily basis, such as a computer, smartphone, and mostly the internet. I personally depend on the internet so much I could not even think of my life without it. Okay. All right, so what are some of the most important discoveries? Internet, light bulb, certainly two of them. Okay. All right. So I'll give you an answer here, and I'll wait for your answers, and then we'll compare, and I'll take somebody else's answer to analyze here. So this will be my answer, okay? So I believe that some of the most vital advancements for humanity over the last 200 years include electricity and antibiotics. Without these, most of the technology today would not work. Computers, the internet, and the light bulb all need electricity, electrical power to operate. Also, without antibiotics, many people would still die well before their time due to illnesses such as pneumonia. Okay, all right. So there's my answer. Again, repeat after me. So what are some of the most important discoveries for humanity in the last 2 centuries? I believe that some of the most vital advancements for humanity over the last 200 years include electricity and antibiotics. Without these, most of the technology today would not work. Computers, the internet, and even the light bulb that I talked about all need electrical power to operate. Also, without antibiotics, many people would still die well before their time due to illness such as pneumonia. Okay, you're on the track for a Band 9 with a response like that for sure. Okay, all right. Habibullayev says, in my view, the most vital inventions that discovered in the last 20 decades are the creations which assist to travel to another planet. Advancements in rocket, for instance, could help for individuals who have tedious feelings about Earth to have some data on Mars. Okay, Habibullayev, there's some mistakes there. I'm going to take Habibullahev's response here and correct it from a band 4, band 5, to a band 9. Okay, all right, let's do this. So here we go. This is Habibullahev's response here. Okay, and we'll take both parts of your response. Okay, And then we'll take a look at it and we'll see how we can make this a lot better. Okay, here we go. All right, let's do this. So I'll be nice and quick. And here we go. Okay, Habibulayev, good job, and thank you for letting me use your example here. So in my view, the most vital inventions that have been discovered, this is a present perfect passive because you're not telling us who is discovering, so you're not telling us the agent or the doer of the action. Plus its achievements over time. So you need to use the present perfect passive form of the grammar here. Okay, so in my view, the most vital inventions that have been discovered the last 20 decades here is a bit awkward. It's okay, but I would say 200 years is better, are the creations which assist travel to another planet. Here we can link this, such as advanced rocket science. For instance, developments which could help individuals who have pessimistic feelings about life on Earth in the future. And ones that give data on Mars. Okay, all right, so we've got a pretty outlandish answer here, Habibulayev, and it's okay if you give an answer like this, but you have to make sure that you're giving correct grammar, okay? And then you do have to give more clarity. So I think this type of research has given much of the technology in transportation, communication, and medicine to the general public. The rocket propulsion engine is also used in planes. Okay, whether or not that's true doesn't matter, but that's the example there. Okay, so this would be your band 5 converted to a band 9 response, Habibulayev. Okay, so that's what it is there. Okay, I'm bringing it up, so there you go. Okay, all right. So again, here's the question: what are some of the most important discoveries for humanity in the last 2 centuries? Now, one problem here, Habibulayev, is rocket science has only really been around for about 100 years, but it's okay, all right? So here's my answer. I believe that some of the most vital advancements for humanity over the last 200 years include electricity and antibiotics. Without these, most of the technology today would not work. Computers, the internet, and the light bulb all need electrical power to operate. Also, without antibiotics, many people would still die well before their time due to illness such as pneumonia. This is Habibulayev. In my view, the most vital inventions that have been discovered in the last 200 years are the creations which assist travel to another planet, such as advanced rocket science and the telescope. For instance, developments which could help individuals who have pessimistic feelings about life on Earth in the future and ones that give data on Mars. I think this type of research has given much to the technology in transportation, communication, and medicine to the general public. Rocket propulsion engines are also used in planes. Okay. All right, now that's a much better answer. Okay. All right. Okay, everyone. So here you have a couple more questions. Are all scientific discoveries a positive for society? Should there be more regulations placed on research? Why or why not? You can practice these questions on our website. So our website looks like this for the general IELTS. Okay, it's got this green background. You can click this big red button to join our premium IELTS course. For the academic one, it looks like this. I'll show you the URLs in a second. This is aehelp.com. And you can go to your My Student page, and here you have Student Partner Speaking. So you can click on that. And then here you see that there's Akshay, Uzman, and Niyaz that are in here. You can video and audio chat with people who are in here, just like Skype or WhatsApp. But people in here are all studying IELTS. That's the good news, okay? You can do the same thing in the general IELTS as well, okay? So that's where you can practice your speaking for free with other students. You can create a free account as well, okay? So lots and lots of goodies there for you, computer-based practice exams, videos, much, much more. So practice the questions from today's class there, okay? And remember, everyone, that we've got lots more IELTS live classes next week, starting on Wednesday the 17th, okay? So Wednesday the 17th. We're going to start back up again, and then we'll have lots more live classes. It's been great having all of you. Thank you so much for all of your interactions. Thank you, members, for your support. You can always join and become a member of our YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe. Definitely check your notifications from us if you're studying IELTS. We are leaders when it comes to IELTS test preparation. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everyone. Much love to all of you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Chin up, looking forward, and the best of luck for those of you sitting your IELTS exams. I'm Adrian, and I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. Again, visit aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Bye for now.